Tinker time.
Okay, let's get started. First, we're going to grab the Revolve sketch tool, bring that out to the work plane. Now, this is our center line, and you'll see how this will be super effective in how we create this. First, let's go over and we're going to keep the selection of the create line. Right here on the middle point at the very top, make that your first set point. Go over 7 millimeters, as we can see here, and set the next point. Next, we're going to go down here and we're going to use the Create Smooth Curve option. As you can see, it's curvy, and we'll take that and put it here. Next, we're going to let it come down. We'll go all the way to the bottom corner here, and then we're going to go in 1, 2, 3 points right here. Select that. Next, we're going to go down to the very bottom corner of the next bottom block here. So as you can see, just like this. Okay. And next, we're going to go back over here and we're going to select the Create Line option again. And then from here, just do a straight line down and then set your next point. From here, use the green check mark, finish the sketch, and there we have it. Next, we're going to hit the D key, and that will make sure that it brings it up to the work plane nice and level. Next, you'll notice that there are some options over here. So we're going to take the quality level here where it says sides, and we're going to take that and move it all the way up. And as you can see, it made it a lot smoother, and that's what we're looking for. Under quality, we're going to take that and move that all the way up as well, just to make it as smooth as we possibly can. We are going to create the bottom piece where we're going to use a threaded cap to be able to seal this off. First, we want to make sure that the diameter of this salt and pepper shaker is 30 millimeters. So we'll change this to 30 millimeters. Okay, and for the height, we're going to change this to 40 millimeters. There we go. Now that this is the correct dimensions, what we're going to do is use a cylinder, and we're going to make this 26 millimeters by 26 millimeters by 7 millimeters. Awesome. And then for this, we'll also take the sides and move that all the way in. The effect that that has on these is you can see how it's smooth. And like I say, when we have less sides, this is the result. Okay, so we're going to move that all the way up. Next, we're just going to scoot that off to the side. We're going to also use a cylinder for this next one here. And this is going to be 24 millimeters by 24 millimeters. And this one's going to be 7.8 millimeters. There we go. And this is going to act as our cap. Okay, next we're going to over here where it says basic shapes, and we're going to change that to shape generators. You'll see at the bottom, there's a thread piece. And we'll take that and move it out to the work plane. From here, we'll have the tip segments at 10, the thread scale at 1. Next, we're going to change the diameter, edit this number here to 20 millimeters. For segments, we'll change this to 32. That way we get a nice smooth thread on here. Next, we're going to combine these two objects. So we'll select both objects and hit the L key to align them. Then we're going to hit this alignment key here, so that way we can see the top threads. Now we're going to hit the Command key or Control key, and we're just going to go up about 3 millimeters. Now, just so you can see, there's still plenty of thread piece buried in this piece, so we'll hit the T key. Okay. And if you don't want your threads to be that tall, you can make it a little bit shorter. And we can do that by hitting the Control key and going down 1. And so there would be just a little bit of threads, and we can do that. All right. Next, we're going to combine these. So we're going to hit Control G to group these together. All right. Now we're going to take this piece that we created earlier and stick it right underneath. And then we're going to use this black arrow here to raise it up. Then we're going to select the main object and hit the T key so we can see through it. Now we want to make sure that this is aligned properly. Select both objects and hit the L key. Now that we have those aligned, we'll just make sure that this one sits down far enough here that it's out of the way for a second. And then we're going to make sure and put this up here, but we'll make sure that this will use this to build the threads in, and you'll see what I mean. So next we'll take this object and rotate it 180 degrees. And we'll raise that up and we're going to scoot it over. Now again, we're going to select all the objects here and we're going to make sure they're aligned. So we are aligned. Now when this piece screws into this piece, we want it to go down further than this top, so that way it's level and doesn't create an imbalance when you go to set it on the table or the counter. So we'll take this piece and we'll hit the Control and we'll arrow down just to there so it sits just underneath the main level piece here. Now we can see that it's going into this piece, and that's how we're going to make our threads. So this is a little bit too tall or long, so we'll take this up. And as you can see, that's where the threads poke through. We want this to come down to at least right there. So that way it won't break out of the main design, but it gives us plenty of thread to be able to screw it in here. We'll take this down, we'll hit, there we go. This should work perfect. So next we'll select this cap and we'll hit Command D to duplicate it and move it off to the side. Next we'll take this main piece right here and we're going to combine it with this piece in here. So the way to do that is we're going to select all the objects, hold the Shift key, and then select the piece that we don't want to include. Okay, and then we're going to hit Control G, and that will combine those objects. And you can see it made it see-through so we could take a look and see where those threads are actually going to cut into this piece. Now, this is the piece that we're going to use to cut the thread pattern into the main body. But we want it to be a little bit bigger to account for shrinkage. To combat that, what we're going to do is this piece is we're going to increase it by 1.2 millimeters in every direction. So this would be 25.2, 25.2, 25.2, and then this will be 12. Okay, next we're going to align these again, hit the L key, align these objects, and we're going to make this main piece, we're going to make it solid again, and then we're going to take this top piece, turn it into a hole, and then we're going to select both objects, and we're going to hit Control G to group those together. Now we have our threads in there. Next, we need to punch through this piece, so that's easy. All we'll do is go back to this and select Basic Shapes again, grab a cylinder, bring it out here, and the cruise option where it'll just go to any surface like this is already enabled whenever you bring one out, so we'll just set it right here over that hole. Now what we want to do is bring it in just a little bit, so hold the Shift key so that it scales evenly, and then on the corner piece, just drag it in a little bit. That's probably good. Okay, we don't want it to cut into our threads at all, so we want to bring it in just a little bit more. Okay, and I'm just kind of eyeballing this, and you can do the same. Select both objects at the L key. All right, we're going to align those so that way we know it just punches out the center. Great, that'll do the trick. All right, now we take this piece and we're going to hit Control and we're going to lower it in. Now we can see what's going on if we take this piece and make it, there we go, see-through, so you can see that it's just going right down into it. We really don't even need to go down that far, so you can select this and then just go back up a little bit there, Control arrow up. Okay, there we go. That's what we're looking for. So now we're going to select the main piece and we'll turn that back into a solid so we can visualize this. Select both objects and then we're going to hit Command G. Now that that's punched out there and it leads down into the main container, that's all good to go. Now we take this piece and we'll spin it over 180 degrees and hit the D key to drop it down to the work plane. Next, we need to put the holes for the salt or the pepper to come through the top. So what we'll do for this, we're going to spin this over 180 degrees. Next, we'll grab a cylinder piece and we're going to make this 1 1.8 millimeters. 1.8. Okay, now we'll take this little one that we made here, and we are going to use the cruise option. So you can do that. It's also C. So hit the C key and then select your white dot, and then we're going to move it up here to the top. Awesome. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to start from the middle center point. So select both objects, hit Align, and we're going to stick it right in the middle. Now we want it to cut down into it. As we can see, it isn't punched through at this point. So we'll hit Control and arrow down just a little bit. And it doesn't matter how far, just enough so where it punches through like that. Perfect. Now we'll take this and we'll hit Control D to duplicate it. And we're going to, just to make sure that it stays lined up, we're going to arrow key down. And we're going 1 millimeter at a time. So that was 1, 2, 3. Okay, we're going to go 3. Now we're going to select both of these. So hold the Shift key from here and just select the other one. Now hit Control D to duplicate that. Okay. Now we're going to hit the Shift key and we're going to group these 3 objects together here. We'll group those. Next, we're going to hit the Align key, L, and we're going to put those back in the middle. All right. Next, we're going to select all 3 of those. So now that they're one piece, we are going to hit Control D to duplicate that, and we're going to spin it 90 degrees, just like that. Now we've got 5 little holes in the top, and that looks good. Now we're going to select both of those objects and hit Control G. That looks great. Our shaker is complete. But this still needs one more thing. Let's take this piece and spin it over 180 degrees. We're going to need some sort of gap here to be able to stick a tool in there to be able to unscrew and tighten the lid whenever we want to refill this shaker. So first thing we're going to do is grab a square piece and we're going to hold this down to 6 millimeters and we're going to leave it at 20 millimeters. We're going to bring it over here and we're going to align these 2 pieces, hit the L key. Now we want to make sure it doesn't go all the way down like that. So we're going to hit the T key so we can see. Next, we'll bring this up, hit the Control key, and we really only want it to go down about that far. Just far enough that we can get something in there. We could use a fork, a coin, pliers, anything. This makes it kind of universal so you can get that open with just about anything. Okay, next we're going to put that back into a solid and we're going to select both objects and then we're going to hit Command G or Control G, either one, and that will group those together and that's complete. So next we'll spin this back over 180 degrees. And now just to be sure, we'll click on the object, hit the D key, click on the other object, hit the D key. This way we know for a fact that they're actually sitting flat on the work plane. And the next step is to 3D print it and see how it turns out. Well, it looks like these turned out great. I went ahead and printed another one here so we can tell the difference between salt and pepper. I'll go ahead and fill up the salt one now. Take this. If you guys print one of these or print yourself a set, let me know in the comments what colors you made and how it turned out for you. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.
Tinker Time.